fascinating insight into how the government, how the state declares war on the free market.
Have you been to InfoWarsShop.com lately? Express your inner patriot with these brand new InfoWars t-shirts. Say it loud with the InfoWars Bullhorn shirt, or educate the sheeple with the Bill of Rights shirt. Grope the public's mind with the TSA shirt. And with this shirt, you can let the dark side know of the Rebel Alliance's power. All available at InfoWarsShop.com.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure. And it's available discounted at InfoWars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139. And welcome back to this extended edition of InfoWars Nightly News on this Thursday, the 19th of July, 2012. And coming up at the end of this interview I'm about to do here in studio with Max Cabrera, we are going to go over some of the things that government built. Like George Orwell in 1984, Beethoven, Rembrandt. We're going to go over all of it because you've seen Obama come out and say in multiple speeches, he's repeating it, that you didn't build a small business. If you created something, doesn't matter what it is, you didn't create it, the government did. So let me show you the front page of Infowars.com right now. We usually change these images every day or so, but I think I'm going to leave this up throughout Friday and the weekend because, well, you didn't build that. A small child there with the Legos that she's just stacked on top of one another. And hey, if you didn't build your small business, if you didn't take the risk and deal with the taxes and the regulations and all the rest of it, well, then that child didn't build that. And if you go home tonight and get out chicken and chop it up in a salad and mushrooms and make a sauce and cook it in some pasta and put it on your plates, you didn't make that dinner either. The government did. And for those of us that study history or even modern contemporary things like North Korea, Communist China, Venezuela, Cuba, it's horrifying because what Obama has been saying is directly out of Marxist-Leninist textbooks. I mean, everything he's saying is out of a textbook. It's what many people believe to be his real father, Frank Marshall Davis, wrote about. In fact, it's word for word, the famous communist writer and poet, and also pornographer. But we are joined by Max Cabrera. He's worked here in IT for over a year and a half at Infowars.com. He's helped us launch PlanetInfowars.com. He's helped upgrade Infowars.com with the rest of the IT crew. He's really helped revolutionize a lot of what we do. Well, I forgot. Chavez, because he came from Venezuela. Chavez did all the work here. So Chavez, you know, it's kind of like powered by Energizer or powered by Intel. We see those ads. Powered by Chavez. So InfoWars is powered by Chavez because Max Cabrera up here some nights till midnight. Well, some nights overnight. He didn't do anything, and neither did I. Max, you know, when I was sarcastic last night, I'm going to stop right there. This is the asinine garbage we see once a government becomes half the economy. It starts telling you, hey, you're lucky I'm taking money for you because I create everything. Max, you've told me a lot of stories, and of course most of it's been backed up in the press about things that you have witnessed. He's only been here for however many years it is in Venezuela. You're now here in Texas. You've got a lot of family down there. I know it's some personal risk of them because Chavez is such a great person that you're here on air tonight. So we hope nothing happens to your family. You're here to speak about what you've witnessed, the nationalizations, the takeover of businesses, what's in Charlotte Iserby's book about the Department of Education, where they tell the kids, pray for milk, and then to Jesus, and the milk doesn't appear. Pray to the state, the milk appears. Those reports. I mean, this is the type of stuff that happens under a total state system. And we've seen him over the last decade become more and more authoritarian, not just nationalizing oil companies and things, but really coming into the economy, firing people, putting his own minions in. So again, at risk to yourself and your family, you're here speaking out against Mr. Chavez to relay to people when because you've told me privately here in the halls, the things you're seeing out of the government now, you've heard this before. Max, thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you for the opportunity, Alex. And yeah, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen how the government takes over private companies and then they make the owners wait for the payment. And then Chavez comes out on TV, national TV, reading all the names of the companies he's taking over, and then he laughs. And then he says, you know what, to all the owners out there, we're going to pay you, but we're going to pay you in papers. Someday we will pay you. And then he laughs about that. And this creates problems with these families because some people rely on those private companies. And now they are out there just waiting for the payment. Some people have been waiting for over a year, and it creates a big deficit for them. I have also witnessed how they get these kids to pray for milk. They ask them, these little kids, to pray for milk to God. They close their eyes, and then they open the eyes and they don't see the milk, right? So they ask the kids to pray again, and this time to pray to Chavez. And then when they open the eyes, they see milk in front of them. Just to create this mentality that Chavez actually can give you everything.
Unbelievable. What is it like for you when you see trendies wearing Che Guevara shirts or Lenin shirts or restaurants named after Mao, who killed more people than Hitler 4 times over? What is it like when you see trendies praising Chavez?
Well, I feel like sometimes they don't know what's really going on, and they feel like because some of his ideas seem good, everything what he does is good, but it's not true. I mean, the socialism idea, when he talks about it, is very nice. It's beautiful. But the reality is that it doesn't work. He doesn't apply it very well. And he's basically taking all these private companies under his command and creating this problem in Venezuela, which is basically, at the end of the day, all the companies are going to be under the government, the power of the government. That means all the people in Venezuela are going to be under that control.
How long has Chavez been in?
It's been 13 years.
Because I've researched some of the history. Before that, there wasn't the big power outages. There wasn't the big shortages. Not that it was perfect, but Venezuela was developing. How have things changed in 13 years in Venezuela?
It's been changing dramatically. Every time I go back to Venezuela, if I go there twice a year, and every time I go there, I see more poverty on the streets. I see more deficit of food or supplies that people need, like, for example, like the milk, sugar, eggs. Chavez has been taking control of the prices of these elements, right? And then the companies can make a profit out of them. Therefore, they can produce them. So what Chavez does is take over those companies, or he goes to another market, to Brazil or Colombia, to import these products, and that's how he's supplying. But he's been controlling these companies so much that they really can't produce anything to put out there. So when you go to the grocery store over there, you don't find sugar, you don't find eggs, you don't find milk.
So what you were explaining is that around here we don't think of SIM cards or as little data cards, anything, but there, if you have the money, you can't go get it. And that's what happens in the Soviet Union, everywhere you have communism.
That's right, that's right. I mean, here, sometimes we see so many things normal, and where I come from, we appreciate having those things available. For example, I like going to the gas station and getting the basics that I need for my house. Over there in Venezuela, not even in the grocery store sometimes you can get them. There are black markets for milk, black markets for chickens, black markets for a lot of things. I mean...
And you were telling me the communists then control that part. They control the black market that they've created.
They are black markets because people can't buy them on the grocery stores. And this black market is created by some people that are involved with the government and some people on their own. And
go over some of the stories, because I've got a million questions here. It's so intriguing. We've been talking for over a year and a half about all this, and so much of what you talk about, again, is confirmed in the news. But it's not just big companies they're grabbing. Describe what you've seen in your own family and friends.
Yes, well, my brother-in-law, he was working for this company. His father was the owner. And the government took over that company. It wasn't a big company, but it was providing supplies to another big company. So they decided to take over that and take control of the production. He lost his job. Immediately he was out of his job, and he was trying to figure out how to make it again, how to support his family.
But you expanded. They put one of the special people in his place.
No, they took everybody out, all the owners and the people below the owners. They took them out and put new people in.
Exactly. So they put their people in.
Yeah. Yes, they don't know what's going on with the company now. They took over, and that's it. They are still waiting for getting paid.
Well, that's what Lenin and Stalin did, and just totally collapsed. But they always do that. Mao did that, and the Chinese say, their official government says 80+ million died. Our government says it's 64 million. But I mean, they do this every time. And I see these yuppies and people going, we want socialism. There's 100% employment and everybody's rich. No, they have no idea. They have no idea that Paul Watson in England, one of the richest countries in the world just 50 years ago, has money, works hard, middle class, one of my highest paid people because he gets the job done, loves liberty, produces, works 16 hours a day. You can't, stop him from working. In fact, I want to thank him for hosting the news part tonight before the interview. From England. He was sick for a month, couldn't get rid of this chest cold. Went to the government health care, and they gave him a little pack with some aspirins and some stuff in it. And he said, no, I want to go to a doctor. And they go, we have to give you permission to see a private doctor. So even if you have the money, you've got to get permission from them.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's something that it shouldn't be that way. In Venezuela, there is a free care system, so you can actually go to the hospitals without paying anything. The only problem is that really those hospitals are not being supplied with the things they need.
Just like Cuba. Oh, you can go to the hospital, but you're not
getting... They don't have anything. They usually have machines that are broken, or they don't have the things they need to create to make a surgery. Sometimes they ask the people to bring them, and if you can't get them, then you can't get your surgery. And
so you get the drugs, the scalpels, the kits they need, and then the doctor knows how to do it, but I mean...
Yeah, but you have to get it on your own.
And all these spoiled yuppies, going and getting their government paid for college degrees or welfare or whatever, they are dreaming of this. Yes. And they have no idea what they're... I mean, communism has never developed anything but total suffering.
That's something that I see here in the U.S., that the government wants to take over all this debt. And that's something that Venezuela does as a socialism country. Like, they pay for education, they pay for medicine, they pay for the gas. So that's why we have the cheapest gas in the world. But what happened is that the government gets so much into debt that they can't really afford everything in a good way. So yeah, we have free education, but it doesn't work. We have free healthcare systems, they don't work. We have all these things that the government provides that really don't work because